Our first poll is, if I can find it here,
What do you,
what is your favorite part of Special Olympics? And so you can choose from training or competition, being with friends, staying overnight in the dorms, getting into shape, or the dance. Of those ones, which is your favorite, Mark? What do you like?
oh, you know, I'm a good dancer, but I think just being with friends, John Avery, you stop your laughing. You know, being with friends is always, I like all of them, quite honestly.
Yeah. I always thought staying overnight in the dorms was really cool when especially it was difficult when I was agency manager, the group was pretty small, younger athletes, and it was pretty hectic, and but it was so much fun seeing them kind of enjoy being away from home and sleeping overnight with their buddies instead of, with their parents. Hey, I'm not sure this, I think we've got that funny glitch going on where Nicole, can you see the results? Let me see it. All right, we're going to end this poll in 3, 2, 1. Can you guys see the results?
Yes.
I can't. So, Mark,
So being with friends is the winner with 38%. And then next up is competition, followed by the dance, followed by staying overnight in the dorms. We had 0 votes for training and getting in shape.
Oh,
Now you're allowed to hear that.
Wow. It was close, 38 to 34. So
yeah, being with friends and competition was very close.
That's awesome. I mean, that's really good. I mean, I was surprised the dance didn't get more votes.
I can't believe you guys don't like to train.
Look at, hey, Brian, you look like you're pretty happy about that. What do you think about that answer?
No, because we can't do anything right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back eventually.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to introduce our guest athlete this week, and that is PJ Lynch. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing very good.
Hey, how did you get your start with Special Olympics?
I got started back in North Carolina. North Carolina. I did track and field and basketball skills. There, my dad was a coach. He would bring his Marine buddies to help us compete, train, and practice before the track and field competition. So that's how I got started. And then when I moved here, I got to do more sports like bowling and basketball skills and team basketball and swimming and more track and field and t-ball and softball and so many sports that I have done.
When did you move to Wisconsin?
93. Dad retired. 22.
He did. So did you have connections out here, or why Wisconsin?
My dad was part of the board of directors of like school for TT1 and all that. And Wisconsin was like one of the top 5 for special education in those years. And we, couple of our friends moved here and they showed us around, took us to Irish Fest and State Fair and showed us around, and we fell in love.
Yeah. You know what? When we moved here in 2001, it was the same type of thing. We were looking for states that had a good special ed program for Tyler, and we just I had gotten a job at the university, so that's why we moved to Madison and then ended up staying here. But same thing, I had a job offer out in Seattle. For those of you that went out to USA Games with us last time, I almost ended up moving there, but I just really liked Wisconsin better than. It's beautiful in Washington State, it really is, but boy, living in the city of Seattle, it's very congested. So PJ, what's your of all the sports and Special Olympics, what's your favorite sport?
Bowling. Competing a 4-man team, and then doing unified doubles with my brother.
Oh, nice.
What's your average?
About a 160, between a 150 and a 160.
Nice. You know, you and your brother will have to do the unified bowling tournament that we, that there's the national one that we've sent. We were going to be sending athletes there this year, and with Carla Lieb, and then she had to step out, and Nicole was going to step in, but this whole darn coronavirus wiped it out. Yeah, but that'd be something for you guys to do someday.
Okay.
When we asked that poll, what did you answer for the poll? What was your?
Mine was being with friends.
Nice. Yeah, that's certainly a big part of what we do. I mean, we are a sports organization, but I think we all know the friendship that gets built among the athletes is really special. And I think that competition, especially when we have the state competition for those that make it, and to be able to travel a couple times a year and see other athletes from other parts of the state is pretty neat too. Because I know, again, with Tyler, his friendships that he has with people around, and it's built to be a bit now outside of the U.S. He's friends with people in Australia now.
Yeah, especially when I got to go to the World Games, meeting all my friends from Ireland and other referees from different countries. I still chat with them. They are so awesome, and I thank Mark and Linda for what they have done and training me to be a table athlete official, and the opportunity to do that last year.
Yeah, why don't you talk a little bit more about that? Because that's part of our athlete leadership program, and you've done quite a few things, and that's probably the topper of the cake. But you've been involved with GMTs and other types of things. So why don't you talk a little bit about that so your fellow athletes kind of know what some opportunities are?
Okay, so the GMTs athletes can, when after I left the state council, and it took me a while, the athletes, when Arnett and I got asked to be on the softball outdoor sports tournament to help Linda, we done different things, working with her, setting up, tearing down, or working, like setting up the dance, making sure everything gone very well for that. The athletes for officials, working on the tables, your partner and you work together, you like work with the paper, or you can work on the scorekeep, but working together with the referees on the course to try to make sure to watch the signal is so much different when you're, watching that. And it's an opportunity for us to, if you have an opportunity, I would think some athletes should try it and see what it's like, because it's so much fun for learning different things. From being an athlete's coach and playing, it's just from all your skills that you have tried to build. And the first group, we all got to meet up in Neenah, and training's fun. And if you guys are interested, it's up in Reedsburg. I'm gonna be there. I will be there training new athletes and with their mentors. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah, Mark, you want to touch a little bit on some of the things that you've done with PJ? Because it's been some pretty cool stuff.
Well, PJ is kind of our right hand, net when it comes to our outdoor sports tournament. And not only is our bodyguards to prevent people from coming up the steps, right, while games are going on, but helping, set up the fields and helping, food distribution and running score sheets and the overall helping us, making sure we do things to make sure we do it kind of quickly and help us out there when it comes to athletes as table officials. That's something that's very important for not only the teams playing, but the officials, and making sure that the game goes smoothly, someone you can trust, conversations and interactions with not only teams within Wisconsin, but if you ever had the luck like PJ did to go to World Games of, meeting someone from China and someone from Japan and Belgium and Russia and all over the world. That's just kind of exciting. So PJ makes sure that we get our jobs done. He makes sure that he tells Don and who's ever in charge that Linda's slacking or Mark's slacking. That's part of his job too.
That's great. Does anybody have a question for PJ? Taylor.
What agency is he with?
I'm in 842. I'm down here in Milwaukee. So 842 is MPS. I graduated from MPS, so went from Milwaukee Public Schools to alumni. So our team Milwaukee is older adults.
So do you play with what's his name?
Holy.
So this is a picture of PJ as the table official in the class that did the leadership workshop with him.
That's a lot, Nicole.
This is Jeannie. That's actually PJ in 2001 in the Global Messenger Workshop. He's in the back row, far right.
Yes, the first level.
That's when he
one.
became an athlete leader, and then the other one is him as the table official at the athlete leadership workshop.
You looked a lot younger there, PJ.
I do.
Yeah. You look a lot younger, PJ.
All right. Well, thank you very much, PJ. You're going to hang out with us for the rest of this and be involved with some of the discussion. So we're going to start with our first topic of the day. Mark, why don't you lead this one off?
All right. So what we like to say is, if you had a ticket to go to an event that you can see in person, right? What would you choose? And here's your choices now. If it was Game 7 of the World Series, if you like baseball, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and I know the host would choose a World Cup final, the Super Bowl, no matter where it's at now. If you like the Vikings versus the Packers game, get a ticket to that, or a Bears versus Packers game, or the final choice is March Madness, the Final Four. Now, my favorite, surprisingly, is I would like to go to a World Cup final.
That's what I would guess for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love basketball. I love all sports, but I've always had on a bucket list that will never get filled.
You don't think you'll ever be able to get to one?
Well, hopefully the one in the U.S., when it's a matter of where it's going to end up. Since U.S. will host it with Canada and Mexico, not the next World Cup, but the one after that.
So maybe you're talking about the men, though. What about the women?
Oh, I would, if they had it in the U.S., I would go see them. They actually play better soccer than the men do.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Technically better.
Looks like Michael Pohl has a question. Mike.
I went to the Final Four last year in Minnesota. It was a great time. Go to the Final Four Minnesota. I've been to the Final Four Minnesota. I had a great time with my two friends. I've been to the Super Bowl. I've been to the Packers Super Bowl the year when the bathroom did not work at the Super Bowl. I was there. when Dallas, the year when Packers played against Pittsburgh, I was there. And then I went to the Final Four in Minnesota. It's great. It's so fun. You go to like outdoor place, like you go to like a practice, shooting practice, street book. And then we went back next year to Minneapolis for next year for the four.
Wow, you've given it a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I really struggle with this one because I love basketball and I love the NBA and I love the Warriors. Of course, their final game 7 was not so great, and we'll talk about that later. But the college basketball is fantastic too. I think the Final Four would be awesome to do. But you know, I actually think if I had to pick one, I'd actually pick a Super Bowl. Just because of all of the hoopla surrounding that. And I think I could honestly go and enjoy it regardless of if my favorite team was in there or not. I think I could probably do that with some of the others, but I don't know. There's just something about the Super Bowl that that just seems to.
Hey, Don, the Chiefs won.
Yeah, I know that. I was not too thrilled with that one, but again, I'm from the Bay Area, so 49ers. But actually, I did like the Chiefs a lot too. So, PJ, what would you pick?
I would go to the Super Bowl. That would be very, get to see all both teams practice or something, and just go to a different city and check it out. That's where I would go. I would like to do.
Mark, what do you think is the highest ticket price for any of those?
I actually would think the Super Bowl is the highest. It depends upon if you buy it legitimately or through a scalper. So if you buy, I still think the Super Bowl is probably the most expensive ticket. With March Madness is the second, and World Cup is.
The good thing about March Madness is I think that ticket is for the Final Four, right? So you actually get to see a couple games. Do they still play the losers?
No.
When did they stop doing that? I remember when I was a kid, they would do
that. 10, 15 years ago, I think they stopped because no one showed up for it.
Yeah. And then they always played it like during the day too, or something like that. Yeah. So, good. Well, all right. Does anybody else we're going to do a poll on this, but before we do that, does anybody want to give their 2 cents on what one they would pick? Okay. Matthew?
Okay, my favorite team, my favorite quarterback for LSU, Joe Burrow.
Oh, you're an LSU fan, huh?
Yeah, baby. Go Bengals.
Missy's missing out. Missy's the only other LSU fan on staff, I think.
Yeah. My favorite player from Ohio, and he is good athlete in high school, in English high school.
Huh.
Maybe that's one we should have added.
Yeah, right.
Championship.
Yeah. That would be a good one too. Yeah. I really like college. Let's see. I'm trying to filter through here. Has anybody else got their hand up? I know Grant Tom had said he had a question a little while ago. Hey, Grant, what's up?
Good.
You got a question for us, or you want to talk?
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
First. Oh. No. Very good.
You want to come back later, Grant?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and launch the poll and see what everybody else votes for. So let's see. Need poll number 2. All right. Let's give everybody a minute or so to do that one. Hey, so where's the Super Bowl going to be next time?
We want to see the World Series, NBA Finals, World Cup, Super Bowl.
Tampa Bay.
Ah.
So they're hoping that Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Him and Gronk.
Uh-huh.
How do you think they're going to do?
I think they're not going to do as well as people think they are. 9-7 maybe.
Yeah, everybody was on the last year at the start of the season. Everybody was on the Cleveland Brown bandwagon, and that didn't turn out so well. All right, everybody get your votes in. Give you another 3 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, end, and share results. And what do we got, Nicole? You're muted, Nicole.
We have a tie between the Super Bowl and March Madness, 21%.
Ah.
The low one is the World Cup. Hey, guys, that's only 3%. Where's my World Cup fans?
I want to know who else voted for the World Cup.
Oh.
Hey, Mark, we had a question in the chat box asking what sport is in the World Cup. So do you want to explain it for a little bit?
Okay. The World Cup is the soccer. So all of the countries that play have their soccer team. And so the final, it's now going to change to 48 teams, then play, in groups, and then they play for who's the best country, who has the best soccer team in the world. So that's that's a World Cup, and it only happens every 4 years. So the men's do it in 2 years, and so it's every 2 years there's a World Cup to either men's or women's. So it's soccer. So I think you retake the poll, and it should be fans that's going to vote for soccer, right? Joe Kiefer, you should be voting for soccer.
Hey, why do they only have it every 4 years?
It's like Olympics, and it's because then it takes so much for the qualifying. It takes sometimes 2 years to qualify. So Europe's got so many teams to do divisional and then break it down to get enough of a qualifier. So the sheer volume to get to that, it takes 1.5 years to lead in.
Do they have major competitions though on an annual basis?
Yes, for the United States, it's the Gold Cup, so it's everybody in CONCACAF or North America that plays in the Gold Cup. So each region, European Cup, the Asian Cup, each region has a kind of an annual tournament, and then they start qualifying.
So we had a unified Special Olympics soccer team go to the USA Games in Seattle. And for those who don't know, Mark's son was a unified partner on that, as well as his daughter-in-law. So that was pretty cool. I bet that was a really neat experience for them.
Yes, and it was nice to see and be a parent of both of them. And anytime we can beat Nebraska, we're always happy.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, let's see. We're going to leave this segment and we're going to go to the Who Am I segment. And this is where, so Mark and I are going to take turns and we're basically going to throw out kind of an answer, and we're going to start really hard and then they're going to get easier and easier with each answer that we give. And it's up to you guys to try to guess the answer. So we've done this a few times now, and there's no perfect way to do it, because some of you it's easier to hold up your hand, and others it's easier to put in the chat box. So we had to kind of make a decision and just say first one in the chat box with the answer. And the last couple times have been literally seconds apart. And so I think we're doing like a $5 Amazon gift card for a prize for this. And if you've already won, Michael Paul, you don't get to win again, or a third time, or a fourth time. So we want new winners each week. So so here we go. So I guess, Mark, I'll start it off, and then we'll just alternate. So because I want to say this one, I am 30 years old. Any wild guessers out there? Nothing yet. All right, Mark, your turn.
All right. I am 6 foot 1 inch tall.
I can see them all thinking. I see them thinking.
Nothing? Really? That didn't give it away?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Oh, Kristen, I cannot win this week. I won last week and on Wednesday. Oh my God, you're a double winner, Kristen. All right, I know we said, so I know somebody's got their hand up. Can you put it in the chat box? Because we're trying to be fair for everybody. If you think you know the answer. I'm gonna give the next one. I went to college at Kentucky.
Lisa's raising her hand.
Okay, go ahead. I know it's, oh, sorry. Say that with your hand raised. Lisa?
Hi.
What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew, do you have a guess for us?
My guess is, why did the Chiefs beat the 49ers?
Are you trying to torment me, Andrew?
Yes.
All right, because they had a better quarterback. I'll be honest. That was the reason. The defense didn't show up as well, and the Chiefs had a better quarterback. All right. All right, who's next? Next, Mark, go ahead. Next one.
All right. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama. That should give it away.
Yeah. I've never even been to what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Guess who was born in Birmingham, Alabama?
Who?
The Dolphins.
Which Dolphin?
Dolphin quarterback.
Oh, really? Mark's shaking his head yes.
Well, he's actually born in Hawaii, and they moved to Alabama.
Ah.
What's his name?
Tagalooga.
You did better than I would have done, Mark.
What's his name?
Tagalooga.
Tagalooga.
Don, you want to give it for the next one?
Next one is I played for 3 teams. These are hard ones.
Yeah. We're almost going to have to skip to some of the easier ones, huh?
Yeah, we'll just go through them
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was the SEC Southeastern Conference All-Rookie Team, which means as a freshman.
All right. This one is getting closer. All right. I was drafted in the 2010 draft, round 1. I was pick 18. And no Googling.
How many are doing that with PJ?
Oh,
No.
we have a winner. We have a winner. Brendan Brown. Where are you, Brendan Brown?
Yes.
You won. Who'd you guess?
I guess that Bledsoe.
Yeah, that is correct. The rest of it, what gave it away? Was it the draft pick?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, Brandon, I'm going to write down your name, and we're going to get a prize sent out to you probably next week.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. So the other clues were going to be he plays with the Bucks. He plays point guard.
I didn't want to do that again.
Number 6, and his initials were EB. That one would have given away. So, how did Bledsoe end up? He wasn't drafted by the Bucks.
No, he was drafted by the Suns.
And then he went somewhere else too. Though. He came to
I thought he got traded from the Suns, because that was the only team I know.
He was drafted by, I think, Charlotte, then traded to the Suns, then traded from the Suns to the Bucks.
But he played for the Suns for a while, and then he got traded to the Bucks.
Correct.
Yeah, I bet all you Buck fans are probably pretty bummed at the season. I think this was going to be their year. I mean, maybe they're going to come back and do something, but I was really thinking it was going to be their year.
Yeah.
I kind of think the Warriors are out of it this year. All right. All right. Discussion topic number 2. So a few weeks ago when Jason was with me, we talked about kind of our best memories. And so we thought we'd turn it backwards this time and talk about some of the worst defeats. And so there could be anything from Special Olympics to professional or college, or anything that you've been associated with or seen or watched or heard. So be thinking about that. So Mark has a pretty heartbreaking story. So why don't you tell us your sad tale?
Yeah, and John Avery may know this one. You know, back in our first USA games in Ames, Iowa, I was the head coach for our softball team. And we were playing against Team Missouri. Yep. And if we win, we go into the semifinals to chance.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Awards. And we played back and forth, and we went into extra innings. And we were the team batting first, and we went up by 1 run. All right, so we have the lead, and now it's Missouri's time to bat. And they got 2 guys on, and so they had a runner at third and at second.
Yes, you did.
And someone got a base hit up the middle, so the runner from third scored, all right, to tie the game, and then the runner from second made a wide turn and went home, and the ball came in, but they met at the same time, and our catcher had the slide had come in just before he caught the ball, so they won by 1 run to win the game. So that we played great. It was really hot out, but it went I think 10 innings. I think, John, we played a lot of
10 innings. Yeah, 10 innings.
Yeah. So that was a heartbreaker.
What year was that, Mark?
2006.
Okay, yeah, that was.
Yep.
Yeah, that one must have stung.
Yes,
it did.
But they did great. We were happy. You know, it was a good game, and sometimes the other team just happens to be better than you, or a little luckier than you on that particular day. So.
All right, so my story revolves around professional sports, not playing anything I played or in Special Olympics, because I had pretty much a lot of happy endings in Special Olympics. But and I really battled between a couple different of them, because growing up in the Bay Area, I was a big Oakland A's fan, and I was a big Warriors fan, and so my runner-up was, I think, in '88 when the A's were in the World Series for the first of 3 years, and they were just a dynamite team and had a great closer, Dennis Eckersley, and had the game in the bag. And then up comes this bum. I can't remember his name now. Mark, help me out. Mark left. Kurt Gibson. Kurt Gibson came up, and he was injured, and he came off the bench and hit a home run and won the game for the dreaded Los Angeles Dodgers, who are mortal enemies. So I thought that was bad. I even went in my bedroom and broke my bed. I was so mad. I had a poster bed, and I snapped one of the posts right off it. But that wasn't probably as heartbreaking as the Warriors losing that 3-1 season to, gosh darn, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving hitting that shot had to live through that one for a whole year. 3-1. I never saw 3-1 so many times in my life as when they blew that 3-1 season. That was probably one of the better teams. I mean, I think even when Kevin Durant came, clearly that was a much different team. But I like the two original teams before he got there, actually. So that was mine, having to live through that, and then going to a darn meeting the next day after. And then, the worst was living with Tyler at the time, because he was a huge Cleveland fan, and so we couldn't even watch the games together. And after that, and all of a sudden I couldn't stand it. I went outside at the end of the game, and then I came back in, and I looked at him, and he was sitting on the couch with his iPad, and he looked up at me, and he looked back down, and he was furiously typing. So I knew the Cleveland must have won the game, because otherwise he'd have thrown his iPad. Kind of takes after me a little bit. I don't know. That was pretty bad. PJ, what about you? You got a sad sob story?
Yeah. Playing up in Eau Claire. We were the top team, the Team Milwaukee Brewers. We had all the.
Yeah, OST used to be up in Eau Claire. Yeah.
We had the Johnson brothers, all three, and we were playing Bi-County for the champion. And we got up, we took the lead, and we went back on the field. And our coach decided to put someone at second, and things after that, they scored fast and it went downhill, but we still played well as a team. I remember that.
That's the thing about Special Olympics and when you lose, we've got so many really good sportsmen that are participating in the sports that sometimes even when you lose in Special Olympics, it's like you congratulate the other team and they were the better team or better player that day, and you kind of move on. It looks like, Cassie, you got quite a bit of a story here. You want to tell us about your story? Anybody see Cassie?
Cassie, you've been unmuted. Do you want to tell us about the story you wrote in the chat box?
Sure. I went to state in 2012 for basketball, and we had one sub for the tournament. Few others didn't have their paperwork in, so they just came to cheer us on. It was a pretty tough team, and we weren't able to win the game. And then the next day we had the tournament. That sub decided he was too tired to come and play, and so we only had 5 players to play, and it didn't go good. But we made it again as a team in 2016, and we won both our games pretty easily.
Nice. All right. Anybody else have a story they want to share? Okay.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle? My name is Nathan Kehoe, and my sad story is when it was on my birthday, and I went up to Wrigley Field, and I'm a big Cubs fan, and the Cubs lost to the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're in the same league, and I feel so bad about my Cubs, and I just don't want them to lose. And we won the World Series in 2016 at 10 innings, and I just feel so bad. My dad was born west from Chicago, so we're both Cub fans. So I really love my Cubbies. So I do follow the Bucks, but I do not follow the Brewers. And it was 2-1, and I feel so bummed out. I say Brewers are done for.
Hey Nathan, you ever forgive what was his name, Bartlett?
Yes.
Bart, yeah, you forgave him for messing up the catch?
Right, yeah, I'm the same way. R.J. Davis messed me up when he hit that home run of the World Series, and I thought I was going to bed, and my dad was so upset, so he goes down in the basement, drunk, and I was like, "Come on, Dad, the Cubs can get it. Cubs can get it." And the Cubs won the World Series, and I think it was like a rain delay, and that helped. And then Chris Bryant, the third baseman, he slipped, and the Cubs won. It was like a ruckus. And year before, they lost to the Mets in the championship series, and back in 2015, and after that, they won the World Series. So it was a tough break for my Cubs that year.
All right. It looks like Megan has her hand up. Megan, do you have a story for us?
It's almost done.
Yeah. I was at state games for basketball.
Uh-huh.
And we won state games back to back. So we got 2 gold medals in back to back, 2 separate years.
Well, that's a good story. That's nice. All right. Larrett. Larrett 1717.
Yeah.
What's your story?
My story is college football. My favorite guy's a fan. My story is I was a young kid and put out sports, yes. When I was back in high school, graduate, my whole life, at Geneva. And I moved to the school, Wyman, Panthers. And now I got a friend for football advisor.
Huh.
I got one and coach basketball. And he played football when he was a young kid. He got a little crazy and cuckoo. And now me, I play football, but we remember there hanging out together outside. And yeah, I better get ball. Okay, go ahead. And I be good pass, some defense. And my coach Steve, he played for Russian Wildcats.
All right. Well, good. That's a great story. Thank you so much. So we're gonna go on to our last poll, and we got 3 different examples here, and I'm actually gonna share my screen and show you the play, and then you can vote on these. So need do this and do this. And can you guys see the screen that says Google?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first one, and so this one's a long time ago. This was back in 1986, I believe it was. It's a baseball game. So just to give a little backstory, it was the 10th inning of the World Series between the Red Sox and the Mets. It was a tie game of Game 6. And this is what happened. Oh, it went right through his legs.
Right between the legs!
How many of you guys have ever had that happen to you? I know it's happened to me. Mark, you remember that?
I've never fast. Oh, yes, I do. I was happy because I was rooting for the Mets.
That's great. You know, the sad thing is that, you know, that while, yeah, the Mets won that game, you know, there still was another Game 7, and the Red Sox actually had blown leads in both Game 6 and 7. But that poor guy will always be remembered and defined as that play. And fun fact, actually, a family member of mine went to school with Bill Buckner's brother. in Vallejo, California. So I kind of had a little bit of a family twist there. So that's number one. Here's number two. This is from more recent, a recent Super Bowl with, how many of you guys know Russell Wilson? And when he was playing the dreaded Patriots, he was destined to become a Super Bowl hero on this play, and instead, this happened.
Play clock is 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler almost made.
They had won the Super Bowl the year before, didn't they? Seattle?
Yeah. So they had won it, but still, that was a pretty terrible way to lose it, especially when everybody thinks you had the number one running back to just give him the ball and let him go up the middle. But yeah, that was a sad day for Russell. And then the third one was
what an upsetting day for Russell Wilson, Amber.
Yeah, that was a bad day. And then the third one is, for all those Packer fans, I hate to bring this up, but this was the 2004 playoffs, and I think the Packers had a 17-14 lead, and they had a drive stall at the end of the game, and they had to give it back to the Eagles and had them down to 4th down, and then this happened. 4th and 26.
This is 4th and 26. McNabb is back. He's looking. He is firing, and it is caught by Freddie Mitchell. Short of a first. I don't know if he get it. He does have a first down. He's across midfield, and he's into Packer territory at the 46.
That was pretty heartbreaking if you were a Packers fan. What actually ended up happening was they went down, scored a field goal, sent it to overtime, and then they ended up winning in overtime. But to have it down to one play like that, phew, boy, that was a sad day for Packer fans. So now let's go ahead and launch the poll. Let you guys all vote while we talk about this. Let me stop sharing. Poll number 3.
Hey, Mark?
Yes?
Why did Russell Wilson got sacked by Rob Gronkowski?
Why?
Because he was Super Bowl sacked by Rob Gronkowski.
All right. All right, everybody, you vote. Hey, Mark, which one did you vote for?
The sad day for Green Bay.
Yeah, sad day for Green Bay.
What about you, PJ?
The 4th and 26.
Sam said you guys missed one, the double doink, Eagles versus Bears.
Oh, yeah. There was actually a couple other ones that we could have added to here, but yeah, I think I would vote for the Russell Wilson because, yeah, I was pretty sad for the Packers, but as a 49er fan, Packers are kind of like a second team to root for. And so, yeah, it was kind of sucky, but I really don't like the New England Patriots. And yeah, Russell blowing that game, meaning the Patriots and the owner winning another Super Bowl just kind of really irked me. All right, so let's look at the results in 3, 2, 1 in the poll. And what do we got for results?
Packers 4th and 26, 56%.
Wow.
Yes! I won! I won the prize!
Ultimately, there's no prize for that one. But but that's a great lead in to the last segment, which is Stump the Host, where you guys get a chance to ask a question and try to stump the staff here. So let's see. Let's try to pick somebody who has not done it before. Close this. Let's see. Does anybody have anything in the chat? No. Anybody got their hands up?
I'll stump you guys.
All right, PJ, you stump us.
How many? Who has
I'll
won?
stump the host.
How many? Who has won 7 times in NASCAR?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mark and I both get to pick one. I'll pick. Who's the one where I won that last time? Richard Petty.
No, Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, you didn't let Mark try to pick.
It was Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, you're disqualified. You said the answer before Mark could guess.
Oh, well.
All right.
I had actually said Jimmy Johnson when you started talking. So
yeah, okay. He
Jimmy
did.
Johnson.
Oh, brother. All right.
The question then is NASCAR a sport? Because everybody drives, so they just happen to go in a circle.
Oh, Mark.
There's no gymnasts in the room, is there? Is gymnastics, is it judging? Anything judges? Is that a sport?
Good question.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting to the end of the show, folks. It's been great. I do want to talk really quick before we sign off about a new online thing that we're doing. So we're hosting since we can't have the summer games, we're going to have the SOWI virtual summer games. So let me share my screen one last time and find Special Olympics Wisconsin. If you go to our page, you'll see right on the front page, we have something called SOWI Virtual Celebration. And you can go and click on why can I not do this? Be part of the fun. Here we go. So when you say you want to be part of the fun, we're even going to do a virtual opening ceremony that we want everybody to come to. But for the virtual games, it's over here on the side. We're going to do 11 different game events. And so if you look on there, it's really easy. We're going to make them really, really fun and easy for you to do at home. We're doing the 50-meter run or walk, and we have all these videos. There's who knows who this is?
That's Michaela.
That's right. That's Michaela. She's showing some examples of the 50-meter run and the 100-meter run and the 200-meter run, because we all know she's a big runner. And then there's even a 2x50 unified relay. So if you have a unified partner that wants to do this with you, you can do it together. And then, all right, there's Nicole. She's talking about the unified relays, the 2x100 unified relay, 2x200, the 1 mile walk or run. And then we have some others. We got, all right, who knows who this is? She's on the show today. She just Amber, that's right. So she's showing how to do the standing long jump and the softball throw. And then we've got, anybody know who this is? It's Jennifer Wagner. She works in our marketing department. So her kids are big soccer players. So they're showing how to do soccer. And so you can do any of those or all of those. You have until the end of May to do that. And all you do is you go to this place and you fill out a form and you kind of submit your score, your name and your scores. We hope you'll send pictures and videos. And then we're going to kind of recognize people as we lead up to the virtual closing ceremonies. Mark, did I miss anything?
Nope. I encourage everyone to try. I'm excited to see some of the videos. I'm anxious to see who still has the ability to run with it and make sure that you stretch. All right.
That's right. Warm up.
But have fun. That's the key.
Yeah. Very good. All right, PJ, any last parting words?
Nope.
Are you going to do virtual summer games?
I don't know.
I think you should. Who all thinks that PJ should do all 11?
Okay. I'll start stretching out.
All right, Mark, any last thing for the group?
No, I thank you for letting me participate. My first time. It's nice to see everyone, and thank you very much.
All right, everybody, you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye. I might not see you next week, but I might go back to work at PIG, so I'm excited to see you soon.
Okay, sounds good, Nathan. Bye-bye.
Bye.